everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. For those of you who are new here, my name is Janet, and I want to say a huge hello and welcome to all of our new subscribers. I'm so excited that you are here. I hope you are enjoying it. Today we have a recipe that you will not find in your modern canning books, so I can't tell you that it's safe, but I can tell you that people have been doing it for generations. As you might have already been able to tell from the title, we are doing milk. We're going to can it so that it is shelf stable. So most of this video you're not going to hear me talk, or you're not going to see me, I should say. You will probably hear me talking. But anyway, are you ready? Let's get going.
The first thing we need to do is get water into our canner and sterilize our jars that we are going to put the milk into. To sterilize, just boil your jars for 10 minutes. I used my water bath canner to actually sterilize the jars. I had water in my other canner to get ready to can. Before I began anything, I went ahead and gathered everything we needed. So now all that we need to do is pour our milk into our jars. I only left 1/2 inch headspace. I might recommend increasing that to 1 inch headspace. Once the jars were all filled, I just cleaned up the rim of the jars just to get any excess milk that might have spilled. Next, we just need to put the flat lids on each jar. Try your best not to touch the underside of the lids to try to keep your jar as clean and sterile as possible. Then all that's left is to add the rings to each jar. Tighten only to fingertip tight. You do not need to tighten them down really tight. Once the lids are on, place the jars into the canner. Then I placed the lid on my canner and locked it down. Tried to make sure that there was an even amount of space on each side of the lid before I actually locked it down. Once I had the lid locked down, I turned the heat up. For this, I did turn it up higher than I normally would. And this is just to bring the canner up to, not pressure, but just to let it steam through that spout. I just took a moment while that was going to set up my area where I would sit the jars to cool once they were finished. Once I felt steam coming out of the stem, I set the timer for 10 minutes. The steam does not have to be coming out super high, but you do want to feel a steady stream of steam. Again, I kept my temperature relatively higher than I normally do. So once the 10 minutes was over, I went ahead and put the regulator on. In my case, I used 10 pounds of pressure. Always check for your location. And then once the gauge comes up to 11 pounds of pressure, it's time to go ahead and turn the stove off. As you see here, it came up to 11 pounds of pressure and the jiggler started moving the regulator. So at that point, I did turn the stove completely off and left the milk there. And once the pressure came all the way down to 0, I checked to see if I could take off the regulator. It was still steaming a lot, so I put it right back on and left it for a few more minutes to try again. Again, it was too high, but eventually I was able to take it off without a lot of steam escaping. Then we just unlock the lid. And I carefully propped the lid open with some pot holders. Then after about 10-15 minutes, it was time to take out our milk.
There we go, you guys. There are our 9 pints of milk. I hope you enjoyed that. These got a little messy. At least one of them was siphoned a lot. It looks like a milk bath in my canner. But that's the way it goes, you guys. It'll be okay. So I'm excited to try these. They're beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me today. Until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.